Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. Call of Duty Warzone. It's slightly becoming a little bit of a puzzle here and there. So I thought I'll do a stream/video on all these things that came by in the last couple of weeks. Because it is quite a bit if you think about it. First of all, we have some intel missions, for those who do not know that. You click on challenges, missions, and then you have intel. It started with in season 4 with Fractured, and then the first objective, you can view the intel. It shows you a picture of a TV station, and then you see a gold coin inside TV station in the desk in the offices, which is sort of in the middle of the TV station. You see that gold coin there. You have to collect that for your first objective. Then you found some piece of paper, gives you all kind of information. Gate B23, that is in the airport. You can find gate B23, there's a computer there, you can collect the intel there. And it goes on like that. Then you were unable to contact the air traffic control tower. That sort of kind of suggests you need to go there. And it goes on like that for these intel missions. So you do those objectives. If you don't know exactly where to find these things, there are videos out there on YouTube from all of these. That's where it started with in week number 1, sort of the intels was in season 4. Then we had hunting the enemy. That was the second series of intel that we got, and that started on the storage zone, on the swimming pool, on the first floor there. As always, the first mission usually is collect that coin thing here, and then it goes on like that. Can't remember specifically where we went then. Military base, you have to go a couple of times as well. In this case it was on the airport. You had to go, this is pretty clear, you had to go to bunker 3. I believe you even had to go to bunker 3 2 times in a row. Yeah, this is the laptop. You need a solid perk to hack into it. You needed to run a certain perk on one of your guns to be able to connect with that laptop. But it's also in bunker 3. That is for hunting the enemy. That's sort of the second series that we got. Then we have hidden cargo. That is you collect that coin here on top of train station, sort of in the bird's nest. That is where you had to do that one. That was sort of the third series that we got. And then it is cargo missing, and then it's all the rest takes place in the port, in some cranes, some containers, in a hangar, in the offices there. Those are where you need to collect all the rest of hidden cargo. So it's one in the train station, the rest is in the port area. Then we have the fourth one, the fourth series of intel. As you can see, that is bugged for me because I did finish it, but that starts off in the military base. That coin is here on the wall, in sort of in that practice area. The second one is in the tower here that you need to find it. So it's all a bit in and around the military base, and then you move over the map a bit. With the last one here, 506. Yeah, although it shows this picture of the airport very often, you don't need to be in the airport. It actually is in downtown, on that building where you have 2 lions standing in front of you of the building. I could go in there, I could collect the info, it popped up, collected the info, and then it went wrong, because you do this mostly in plunder, and you play through that thing, and then you have to finish that game. That is the problem. A few minutes before the plunder game finishes, the servers went down, and I had to reboot the game. Even had to wait a couple of minutes before the servers were back up. And then I checked my intel, and although I collected that 5th objective, it's not check marked. So I can go back there to downtown and pick it up, but the Intel thing does not pop up anymore in the corner. So yeah, it is bugged for me. I play with a group of 4 or 5 friends regularly, a little group of friends that we play with, and I think one of us has all the Intel missions check marks. Also, the other guys have some issues here and there. We got one guy who more or less has the same as me, but then he had it on in the first series of Intel. He collected the last one on the military base. It popped up, so he had collected it. And then we play on with the game, and the game crashed on him, and now he doesn't have that. Another guy is stuck on that fourth one here for the first series. Had to collect something in the crash, on the crash site where the plane is on the ice there, north of the airport, south of the military base there, where that plane is on the ice area there. He went in that plane and he could not collect. He could collect the info, but it didn't pop up. So he's also stuck on that one. So they seem to be a bit bugged. Should have been coded or programmed a little bit different, I think. They should have made it in such a way that if the thing pops up, the game should know that you have collected them. And then the last series here was Season 5, a couple of weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, I think, we had to do this. That starts in the airport, on the air traffic control tower. You can go under the tarmac in a tunnel, and that's where you have to collect this coin over here. And then the second one, stationed at the Torsky housing area, that is a bit east of Superstore. In a little house there, you can collect it. And that is sort of where we are now. We have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 series. Now, people have been data mining a little bit here and there, and apparently in week 6 of season 5, we have week 4 starting tomorrow, so it will be like in about 2 weeks. We have this thing over here, as you can see, that is prison. So apparently there are new Intel missions coming, something related to Pursues, which is that code name that is in the new trailer announcement for the new Call of Duty game. And apparently all objectives need to be gathered in prison, as you can see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all in prison. Those missions will come into in about 2 weeks, I think. So then you already have an idea where to go look for it. Similar story as always. The first one, you need to collect a cone, and then you need to collect some more info about that. That's for the Intel missions. Then you had like all kind of Easter eggs going. You have the bunkers. Some of them open. You have sheds that open, and it goes on like that. We'll have a look on the map what we have. The bunker 11 is yeah, that's one of the earliest Easter eggs in a way. Bunker 11, you need to find the phone that rings. Then you will hear some Russian voice giving you a message. Then you will hear a tune followed by 3 numbers in Russian. So you need to sort of learn from 0 to 9 in Russian to understand the code. And those 3 numbers are referring to another phone which you need to pick up in order. So if the code is like 247, then you need to first go to the location of phone number 2, pick it up, then to 4, and then to 7. If you have done those 3 in order, then you get another message. You have 2 options. Either the Russian voice says something about "niet niet," that means that your code was not correct, you haven't heard correctly what was going on, or something like that. Or it gives you a whole text sort of stating that you have broken the code and that it's all fine and you can go. And that basically means that you have cracked the code, and then bunker 11 is open. Then you can go in there. For those who do not have it yet, you will find the mud dropper, which is a MP7 blueprint. That is for specifically for bunker 11. Then you have the red access key card that you find sometimes on the map. Those things open bunker 0, 4, 5, 6 and 9. Bunker 0 is on the monument over here, where you find that chopper, and so you have a monument here. If you zoom in a little bit, there is a dirt road. It is sort of over here on the rocks, across that dirt road. That's where you will find bunker 0.
Practice is over. The real fight begins now.
4, 5 and 6 is more on the dam area, dam military base area, and 9 is on the prison. Let's see where we go.
Lunder, your mission is simple. Secure more cash than the enemy. All right, soldier. Mark a drop point for your team.
Now we had some stuff going on with puzzles that we needed to solve and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, we can sort of do a tour about that, which means you need some codes. There are about 6 codes in the game at the moment, which opens doors. You have TV station over here. You have that little shed there. That is already one of those that you can go in. It has 2 doors on either side of it, the thing here, and then it wants you to type in a code. For this shed on TV station, the code is 274958110, and then it should open that door, as you can see. Inside, that is where we had to find all kind of papers to solve some other intel. This door does not open because also on the other side, if you want to open this door, you also need to type in the code there. 274958110. That is for this one. Now let's see if we can find a vehicle here or there. That would be nice.
Vehicle mark.
That was sort of, yeah, in a way, it was a daily puzzle thing, right? That was, this all started with some players who are known within the community. They received a box from Activision, and if they opened that box, there was like some old projector in there and some other stuff, and then they need to put their info together in a way, and with that info they could start puzzling a little bit, and eventually they came up, had to go to Black Ops 4, I think they had to go. And then they came up with Bitch You Were Here and Turn 11 White. Bitch You Were Here is a chess game from 1972, and you sort of had to figure out what Turn 11 White was, and that meant it was the move that was played in move number 11 or in turn number 11, and White took a pawn from the black side. And so that was how they ended up on pawntakespawn.com, which was the website. And then all sort of puzzles revealed there, where we got some daily codes. And that opened some things, like for instance, in the TV shed. Then we have here the big farm. The biggest farm on the whole farmland here area. If you go in here, you also have a door here with a shed. Same story, it needs a code, and for farmland that is 492855163. That opens this thing. There we go. These codes are always the same. It always opens these same doors. So that is a TV shed and the farmland shed. Let's call it that. I think we started with farmland. Then we could the next day we could open a bunker. The day after that we could open the next one, and that is the so-called prison shed, or the shed on prison. The prison on the left, you have the port on the right. We saw that need to be down there. You find a little shed over there as well. Similar as with the other two sheds. You will find a keypad, and it needs a key. For prison, that is 7294851. There we go. You can find some grades or whatever. When the time was there, we needed to find these things here, for instance. PSG 4 out of 4. We needed to find some papers. PSG code, we needed to find 4. We had the Venona code, we had the Lambda code, we had Nix tags, we had Nix charge. All kind of stuff that needed to be done to collect it. And then eventually, when we had all the information, we could decipher those codes in a way. So those are the 3 sheds, and then there were 3 bunkers, which were kind of important in this whole thing as well, in such a way that you needed to open those as well. With bunker 1 and bunker 3, and then on the last day it was the big one in a way. As you can see, there is still activity going on here. They already opened it. Up their money. Might be some people in here. You run here, this door is normally closed, and you need to type in a code over here as well. For bunker 10, the code is 60274513, and then this door will open. You can go in here, you will find some stuff here, similar as in bunker 1 and 3. The only difference here is, of course, you can go to the left, find the second room, and then you find the big nuke over here. As you can see, it is pretty big. You can see it on the TV screens. The nuke head, the whole thing. This is still a mystery what it's doing here. Next to that we have elevators. They are still not opening. That is another part of the puzzle probably that we're gonna need to solve, because yeah, this thing never seems to stop. It's a little bit of a puzzle. Although with a shooter-looter game, it's slightly becoming a puzzle as well. That is bunker 10. And then we have bunker 1 and 3, sort of similar. That all was in that mystery of the Pawn Takes Pawn website, where we daily get some codes, and then every day we could open something. I've done a video last week on all the bunker locations. Zero is on the left here somewhere. That is, yeah, might be something. Sometimes you will hear some people like, "Oh, I never knew this was here." I played with a few guys the last couple of days, just with some randoms we played, and started talking with them, and they had no idea about these bunkers. So you have this dirt road here on the monument. If we jump over here, you can go down here to the left. This is bunker 0. Now, for some reason or another, when Season 5 started, they have removed the numbers, but before it was called bunker 0 over here. All these bunkers were numbered, but Is it a bug or has it a specific reason why they removed those numbers? But this was bunker 0. That thing opens with the red access key card. The same goes for the bunker on prison, which is number 9. And then you have bunkers 4, 5 and 6. 4 is on the dam. If you're in front of the dam, on the right side you see some rocks. That's where you will find bunker number 4. Number 5 is the one on the ice with the crash plane there, which is between the dam and the military base. And number 6 is a bit more northeastwards of the quarry. Let's see if I can find it on the map. So if you go to the dam, you have this area over here. That's where you will find bunker number 4. Then you have over here the crash plane with the ice section, and behind the corner there is bunker number 5. And then you have bunker number 6. You have over here in the H3 area, you see a bridge. If you go on that bridge and you go to the left, up there you will find some sort of tunnel, and then you can go up here, and then over here this is bunker number 6, and then number 9 obviously in the prison. Those are the 5 bunkers that open with access key card. Over here we have bunker number 1, which is more or less, you have that racing track and you have the houses here. It's sort of in between. You can go in here, you find the door here. Also here, code needs to be filled in. 972641138. This is bunker 1. Oh. 972641138. There we go. That's the code for bunker number 1. As you can see, the damn thing opens. Just like in bunker 10, you will find a second room. It opens up. In this case, in plunder, that means you will find some orange boxes, and so we needed to collect some information papers and things like that. Find some cash balloons and things like that. There's some guy shooting me here, so I might actually die here. That's sort of next to the 3 sheds and bunker 10 and this one, which means we leave 1 more if you go past these houses. You sort of drive towards the boneyard, you go past it, and then you end up over here on bunker number 2, which is that small one over there, and then you have bunker number 3, which has 3 doors. If you go on the right one, jump down, you will find the second door as well. As usual, this is also opened, but normally this door is closed, and also here you need to type in a code. Bunker number 3 code is 87624851. Then this door opens, and also here you can loot. Now recently in Plunder I've noticed that this bunker, bunker number 3 and bunker number 10 are very often opened when you play Plunder, because yeah, there is some good loot and people can easily get the money here. Those are sort of the let's say things that we had to solve. 6 different things, 3 sheds, 3 bunkers, which you can open with codes. So obviously you need those codes to be able to get in there and collect the papers and decipher all that. That's what we did last week. But these codes are still active, so you can still also now you can go in there. As you could see, you could collect some information like then, but now it also works as opening doors, and you can collect some money when you play Plunder or something like that. But I think there are even more boxes in the red access keycard bunkers, which is 0, 5, 6, 8 and 9. That means that we still have bunkers number 2, 7 and 8 where we haven't done much yet. Those are bunkers that you can just walk in. But it also has a second door. If he's a solo artist, he can come back and collect his money.
Hostile dropping into the area. Watch the skies.
But I needed to kill in a vehicle, I think, for one of my missions. So I thought I will quickly drive over this guy. He seemed to be a solo guy, so he dropped back there. He can collect his own money again. So yeah. So we have 0, 4, 5, 6 and 9. That opens with a red access keycard. We have 1, 3 and 10. They open with typing in a code. We have bunker 11, that is the thing with the phones.
Enemy soldier is coming.
There you can see on top of the truck here, that's bunker number 4. Also just like number 0, opens with the red access keycard. Go a bit more right there, that monument here. Don't have enough time to do all of them, but if we could get over here towards the ice, you would be able to see bunker number 5 as well. Almost reached the bus. Go on that bus, you go left and you go down, that's where bunker number 5 is. And then number 6 is a bit more eastwards of the quarry. That's the whole story with the bunkers. Let's see, 0, 1, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 9 and 10. They're sort of, and 11, we sort of have like, there are codes or there are missions or there is something. There are ways to get in there. 2, 7 and 8, we can just walk in. You don't need anything specific. Although they have a second door, but you cannot interact with those keypads at the moment. So we're not so sure what we are doing there. That might be for some future Easter egg or things like that. That's more, let me have a look. I think I have a picture somewhere of these bunkers thingies. Yeah, that's sort of what we have been doing here now. So these are the bunker locations, the blue locations on this map. We have visited bunker 10, 0, 1, 2, you can walk in. There is a second door, there's a keypad, but it's not interactive at the moment. 3, we have a code for as well. 4, 5 and 6 are red access keycards, just like 0. 7 and 8 is over here. I don't even know how that area is called here. They're like sort of like 2 and 3. It's like a small bunker and then a bunker with 3 doors. You have the same here, 7 and 8. You can just walk in. 2, 7 and 8 we still have nothing to do, let's put it that way. 9 is downstairs on the prison. And then 10 we have visited. 11 is a bit more complicated. Then you need to you see these red dots here, those are like potentially locations where you can find a phone that rings. There are more locations where a phone rings if you drop into a map. I'm pretty sure you heard a phone ring here and there if you walk around on the map. If you play often, very often you hear a phone ring. last couple of days I found a couple of new phones here and there that I paused and they were ringing. So if you pick them up, they give you a code, and the code they will giving you is more or less the green numbers. You get something like 873, then you know you're gonna have to go to hospital, you have to go to the airport in front of the plane, and you have to go to quarry. In that order, you do 873. If you have picked up those phones, then you will be able to, all the way up north, open bunker 11. And that's those green locations. So you have military base, that's where 0 is. You have the bank downtown, that's where 1 is. 2 is over here in that area between TV station and the quarry. You have like a little town there. There you will find, in the munition depot, you will find phone number 2. Number 3 is all the way at the end of the quarry in a little building. Number 4, it's over here on the bunker 7-8 area on that bridge. That's where phone number 4 is. Number 5 is inside TV station. 6 is inside the air traffic control tower. On the other side, you have that plane standing there on the tarmac. In front of there is a door. That's where you will find phone number 7. Number 8 is the main entrance of hospital on the sort of desk that you see there when you come in. And number 9 is on the dam. Those are the phone locations for the codes. If you pick out those in order, you will be able to answer bunker 11. We're not going to go into that because I've done that last week already. Did a video of all these bunker and phone locations. We sort of drove around the map, checked the bunkers, and then in a different map we picked up the phone. We actually opened bunker 11, and then I did an extra match where I just took a look on where all these phones are specifically. You will be able to still find that on my Twitch, I think, videos. So that is sort of where we are now at the moment. So we opened a bunch of bunkers. There are still 3 available, and then we have the stadium thing. In bunker 11 you find MP7 blueprint. In the stadium you find the CR56 AMEX blueprint of the Enigma, it's called. And there you have like a bunch of key cards, more specifically 3. P216, CL19 and EL21. The P216 is the parking lot, door 16 I'm assuming. The CL is the conquer level, door 19 I'm assuming, and EL is the executive level. What it basically means is the P216 is downstairs in the underground, sort of on the pitch level of the stadium. That is like the first level. That's where you will find the bar, and next to the bar is CL19. And EL is upstairs on the second level. So we'll have a look on. The thing with that is you need to find a key card. You need to open that door. Go in there. You will find some loot boxes, and you will find a computer, and that computer will give you a code. That will be numbers and signs.
Soldier incoming.
The problem with that code is that there are some symbols in there. One looks a bit more like a Chinese sign, another one a bit more like an anchor or a nose, and another one sort of like an arrow or a house, or people usually refer to it as China, and nose and house. And you need to decipher those, you need to figure out what are the symbols. You need to replace them with a number. There are a few givens though. There are a few things that we know. We know that all numbers are different in that code. So you will get, it's an 8-digit code. You always will get different numbers. And the symbols will be the same. So if you have like, if you have a code with 2 times nose in there somewhere, that nose will be, if let's say nose is 2, then it will be, both of those noses will be 2.
plunder. Secure cash by completing contracts, looting, or eliminating targets. All right, soldier. Mark a drop point for your team.
There are a few things here though. We usually, what we did was we always went here. We have to do this a couple of times. It's not, oh yeah, let's quickly open this door. It doesn't work like that. You're gonna have to find those key cards, so that is the biggest problem. But I will show you some locations where they can be found. What we usually did was, we usually landed over here. More or less. If that parachute won't open, that is. You can go immediately underground. But see, I play by myself here now. Playing solo. The benefit of you playing solo in Plunder is that you always, as you can see, you drop back in where you died. More or less. Not specifically, but... Now you see a guy there. A shield and a stun grenade, yes. I probably should run battle hardened for this stuff, but... But yeah, this is a good example of losing time. Because, out of experience, we have noticed that these keycards despawn. You see on the left there, you see a clock. It starts at, I think, 30 minutes in Plunder. My god. Sounds! Something they need to work on. Sounds. Not gonna be able to get in there. What I was saying, these things despawn. If that clock on the left there is on minute 25, there's not much point in looking for any keycards anymore, because they despawn. I don't know if it's exactly minute 25, there is a certain structure in there, I'm assuming. But we noticed that first have to kill these here. Take revenge on both of them. So in theory I could still find keycard because we have 26 minutes on the clock. But that's not that important. If you're lucky, like I was eventually after 4 hours or so of trying, you find a keycard under the stairs here. I went left, I go left of this area. And I find another one over here on the left. Now you can only carry one. Keep that in mind.
Enemy soldier incoming.
Over here sometimes can spawn one, definitely under the stairs. So you always have to check that. So that's already like 3 locations there. Under the stairs, left against the wall. And then under the stairs in that little area. The P216 is downstairs. That's where that door is. I haven't found a keycard there yet. So I don't think the only reason you need to go there is to either loot or open that door. I think I found one here once. This is the other side of the stadium. If you come in from this side underground. And then behind this counter thing here, on the left here, also found one a couple of times already. So that's also definitely a spawn point. Under the stairs there, again, obviously. And then you also have, in the stadium here, if you go in, you always need to double check behind the wall. And also check there. There are some locker rooms there, on 2 sides of the stadium. You need to check that as well. Check these corners. And also check these corners. Also possible spawn points. I found keycards as well here on the left side as over there on the right side. So it is possible to find them there. And also on, here under the stairs is a possibility. And then you go up here again. You have a locker room here. Also here, sometimes there might be one spawning over here. So those are all locations that you need to check underground. And then you are sort of around, because that is where we came in. So we go back here. You take these stairs. Then we go up to the pitch level, the conquer level. And then you go left.
Enemy dropping into the AO.
Yeah, over here it is a bit of a gamble. I haven't found any over here on this level, but I know there are spawning points. Like for instance over here sometimes. Then we are approaching the bar. Around the bar here you can find several as well. People have found also here in the corner some.
Enemy UAV overhead.
Behind the counter of the bar, sometimes one spawns over here. This is the bar level. This is CL19 by the way. If you find that one, that opens this door. You go further around. You have the elevator. Next to the elevator in the corner. Also sometimes you can find a keycard. I'm basically just showing you the locations more or less. Also in here, which is some sort of clothing shop or whatever it is. In the corner here, sometimes a keycard spawns. And then there is another location, I believe. There's some sort of ATM machine. Sometimes in front of the ATM machine, but it goes a bit more to do here.
Enemy soldier incoming.
We need to find that one. Don't really go into the stadium, but you do go a bit sideways. What else do we have? Oh yeah, you have the stairs as well. Here's another elevator. Always check the corners there. Ah, this is the ATM machine, I think. Yeah. Over here in front of it, you find sometimes one. And then you have this door. You go up to the second level. The executive level. You go right. You can come up with a zipline here from city side more or less. This is EL21. Also not found this match because the door is not open. But also here you can find key cards, more specifically in this little, it sort of moves the wall a bit to the rear. In the corner here. And the same exactly on the other side of the stadium. So always check these corners. And then also in the VIP lounge itself as well. There's a double door here somewhere. And on this side, you can just walk in. This is the VIP lounge or whatever you want to call it. Also here you will be able to find some key cards sometimes. On the other side, obviously not, because that is the door you need to open on the other side with the eventual code that you can get from... So you look for key cards and then you can open a door either on the bar or either here on the second level, that door that I just shown you, or underground the P216. You need 2. If you have 2, then you can crack the code, because then you can replace the code will be the same on the computer in all 3 doors, in all 3 rooms, but some of these symbols will be replaced with a number, so that's how you sort of decipher it. If you get something like, let's say, house 58, nose 43, then you have 2 unknowns. If you get a second computer, then one of those houses or one of those noses will be filled in. And then you can also fill in the other one, because you know that those symbols will be the same number. And then you have like 4 different numbers. You have 4853, and then you replace the nose with whatever it is that the second code gives you. And then you might show up with an 8-digit code where you have still 2 house symbols in there. But what we know for sure is that it has to be a different number than the ones you already have in your code. So if you have, let's say, 1, 2, 3, 4 already in your code, then you know that the house symbol can only be 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9. Because it has to be a different one than the ones you already have. And that basically means that you can replace the code. If the code is 1, 2, 3, 4, and you have a house symbol, then you put in 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you try 5, 5, 5, 5. If that doesn't open the door, you try 6, 6, 6, 6. So you have 6 codes maximum that you need to type in here if you have one missing symbol. So you do not need to find the 3 keycards, as some are stating out there. It, of course, if you have the 3 keycards, would make it easier, because then you don't need to solve anything, because then you have your code complete. Then you will also have the house symbol or the China symbol or the one that you are missing. But in this match, not much being found. Because the bar was not open, the executive level was not open. I will check downstairs to see if one is open. Doesn't seem to be the case, because it's still full of loot here. Either people have the Enigma already, they've done it with their team, or they gave up on it because they can't find the keycards. Also doesn't open. Why am I trying that? Although I don't have any keycards. That is the other thing. Even if you find one keycard, keep checking the other 2 doors. It might be possible that another team has found the keycard and opened that door. You don't necessarily need the keycards, you need the 2 doors open, so that you can decipher your code. The code is the same for everybody, every match, but it changes every match. So it's not like once you have the code, oh yeah, I can give it to my friend. No, it doesn't work like that. Just like with Bunker 11, the code changes every match that you play. Which leaves us with the next puzzle. We still haven't figured that one out. We're working on it. The guys at Geeky Pastime are trying to figure it out. And I can't find any at the moment. I'm looking for rectangles, basically, on this level of... Sort of on the pitch level. You find these rectangles on the wall. Around the area, if you go around the area, you can find 26. Now, 26 rectangles. Conveniently, there are 26 letters in the alphabet. So, more than likely, we're gonna have to find another code word. And try to solve what these rectangles represent. In other words, for instance, what letter is this? That would be my guess. But we're sort of puzzling around. If you go one level higher... Just gonna shoot him before he shoots me. Checking around the bar. I think it's even a higher level that we need to be. Yeah. And then he fell off like a nope. On this level here, we have these things here. Also different ones. All around the stadium. So this is, I don't know. It's some sort of Morse code. Short, 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 long, long. We haven't figured it out yet, but this seems to be the next puzzle thing. We know there is a live event. And we know it's something to do with the stadium. With the new Call of Duty trailer on August the 26th, on Wednesday. So we slightly start to have a feeling that we're gonna have to decode this thing here with the reticles, which probably needs to be replaced with a letter, and then find the keyword. There might be a possibility that we have to shoot them
Watch the skies.
with that specific reticle. That's gonna be a problem for some people, because not everybody has all the reticles unlocked. And then you have these things here. So that's gonna be some other key code. My guess is that we're gonna have to solve this. If you have solved it, then you probably will be able to see the new Call of Duty trailer for the new game as one of the first on these screens here. That would be my guess. So that is the puzzle situation at the moment. We have the bunkers, we have that solved. We still have bunkers 2, 7 and 8, which have a second door with key patch, which are not interactive. We know there is another intel coming, which links to Pursues, which is linked to the new Call of Duty. Some sort of infiltrated secret agents, as you can see here. This is a different thing than we saw earlier on there. Here we have short, short and 3 longs in a way. Not familiar with Morse code very much. Might be, but short, long, short, long, short. I have no idea how many there are. It seems to be like more over number 7. That might also be possible that there are 10 around. Wait a minute. Because if you go a bit higher, yeah, this seems to be like a 7. If there are 10 around, then this might actually be numbers, and then the one on the but yeah, what are you gonna make of this then? Double 7? It could be that these are like the numbers, and that the other things on the Concord level are the letters. We know there are 26 reticles, and conveniently there are 26 letters in the alphabet, so this is the next puzzle we're gonna have to solve, I think. We know there is a live event coming. People have been data mining that. It's also, you see it on the season calendar in a way. Yeah, they mention a live event. We also know from the pawntakespawn.com. Let's have a look on that, because to bring you completely up to date, that's where it all happened, more or less, right? Let's have a look. So people found this Pawn Takes Pawn website. As you can see, there's not much happening now. It's pretty dead because it has been solved. So how did it all started? Some guys got a box. They came eventually to that Bish You Were Here, which was a chess game from 1972 in turn 11. The move is Pawn Takes Pawn. You can put that in some sort of DXC5, whatever it was. People have been converting that into codes, trying to open bunkers and so at first. So yeah, it took a couple of hours till eventually they came simply to the code. Okay, how can you put this differently? Yeah, well, it's a pawn that takes a pawn. And somebody smart enough took the liberty of just typing that in Google and came to the conclusion that it was a website. That's how we ended up here. The VCR showing 12 o'clock, 14/8. August 14. at 12 o'clock something was happening. 12 o'clock Eastern time, that was 6 p.m. European time. We came here at that time and there was a video. And that video showed those codes that has just shows a 20-minute video, all kind of news bulletin things from back in the days of the Cold War. And while that video was running, all kind of numbers popped up. The video was also labeled with a certain color. And then at a certain moment it would pop up here on the VCR itself, something like WZF8 and then an 8-digit code. WZ standing for Warzone, F8 standing for the area on the map. If you open the map, you see A, B, C, D, E, and 1, 2, 9. So you sort of had to, that was the area you need to look for. And then we ended up on the shed on farmland, prison, TV station, bunkers 1, 3, and 10. 6 days in a row. You could watch a video here. We got a new code. We got all kind of numbers, and those numbers sort of deciphered all those papers that we found in those bunkers and in those sheds. But yeah, it was still a bit of a mystery because it didn't make much sense. Then you see on the postage over here, Tangled Web / Tangled Web. So that is like, yeah, pawn stakes pawn / Tangled Web. And then you get something like Warzone not just won on the battlefield, but behind closed doors. Of course, referring to opening the sheds and the bunkers and all that kind of stuff. And that more or less was sort of the first thing that showed up, I think on August the 12th or so. So you could read that message, and then that's how we ended up here. Then they added EMC2 on that postnet. And then you found a piece of paper in the beginning with all pawns standing up. And these were 6 black lines. They were covered. So and then once we done that first day, they sort of crossed out the first line, and then they showed 8:15 day 2, and so we knew that we had to come back the next day. And that's sort of as you can see, different years as well. And then every day a pawn was dropped down, so we knew it was a 6-day puzzle that we had to do. And then eventually we solved it, resulting in a film on August 26th, which is the trailer of the new game. On that last day, they added 11th hour. And we got that message here. A Tangled Web, EMC2, 11th hour are actually chess games again, referring to the Pawn Takes Pawn original website. And people were struggling with those codes to decipher with the numbers from those videos. It all did not make much sense. And so they gave us this green piece of paper together with the intelligence update here. And that basically told us that we had those we had papers that we found in the sheds and in the bunkers. They were labeled green, orange, blue, purple, red, and yellow. And then we had a bunch of videos with the same colors, and a bunch of numbers popped up in that video. But it was not very clear how to solve this. These numbers didn't match here and there. Till they gave us on the last day sort of this code and telling us that the green cipher that we found in the game is actually the green. So we had to use the numbers from the green video. The orange paper inside, actually we needed to use the numbers from the yellow video. So we needed to change those colors. And then people went at it for a couple of hours and trying to figure out to decipher all those codes. And then they finally deciphered all those codes, and that was a bunch of scrambled numbers and letters that didn't make much sense. And then once we were at that stage where they had all the 6 code words, there were 6 codes. And once they figured all that out, a bit later, we checked regularly, people checked the website, and they added timing is everything. And that made already some people think like, wait a minute, what has this to do with it? And then even a bit later, like 10-15 minutes later, they added this thing here. And then it became clear, these are the timestamps in all those different videos when the numbers were shown. So when those numbers were shown, let's say in 2 minutes and 5, that could be like in video 4 at 2 minutes and 5, it would show a number. So then you had to, that number that they deciphered was coming across like a letter, and they had to do it like that. And then you get something like, if you put it then in order, it was also a bit of puzzling again. Luckily there were some cool people out there who actually sort of foreseen or thought like, you never know why it's important, they all written that down. So they're written down like at one time frame in the video, at what point it showed the code in which video, and they sort of wrote it down like that, which makes it of course easier to solve all that. And then they came up with something like a war is not fought in a bottle pot, danger is coming, that kind of stuff. And then some people noticed that if you fill in those code words, it was sort of blank a blank war blank is, and then so it's like a battlefield is not warm, but you still had some spaces open. And if you went from top to bottom on those spaces, you actually ended up with slash play the game, find the truth. And that was eventually how they solved it. Then you come to this thing, which of course is now a trailer announcement thing that is already available on YouTube. And that is how it was solved. It was solved by Geeky Pastimes and a bunch of these Discord friends. They solved it as first, and they could play the trailer here, and then it sort of announces, it's sort of an interview from real life back in the days in the Cold War. So they sort of linking real life with the game, and then at the end telling you something like August 26th happening in Verdansk. Verdansk obviously is the most wanted map, in a way, because that is where we're gonna have to be. Warzone Stadium more than likely is gonna be where it's gonna happen all. So that is on Wednesday. On Wednesday something is about to happen, some live event or whatever. But it's not just gonna give us a trailer, I think. More than likely we're gonna have to work around with those rectangles on the wall all over the place, and those symbols on the second level of the stadium. Another code, another Easter egg which needs to be deciphered. There are already people on it, obviously. People like Geeky Pastimes and his team are they're already working on that for like 2-3 days, trying to figure out what could it be. There were some other things. There were messages on the boneyard that were there, and then suddenly they were gone for a couple of weeks, and now they are back. It's some sort of Russian. Translated, it means something like start the engines or something like that, and then go from there. That might something have to do with that nuke. We have that nuke in Bunker 10. It's also gonna play into what it's gonna do. Is it gonna blow up the dam and then just fill up the river with water, so that we get a bit? That would be like strategically a bit of a different game, because that would mean that if you go from one side to the map, you can only use the bridges, and there are like 2 or 3, which means lots of activity, lots of fighting on those bridges if they would actually be filling up the river. Or is it completely going to wipe out the map? For instance, when the new Call of Duty comes out and we get a new map in Warzone, that is also very possible. At this moment, Warzone is more or less linked to the Modern Warfare. We know that the new Call of Duty is coming out October or November, the trailer one of the next days. And so they somehow they need to take this game away from Modern Warfare and link it to the new game. This game is a game on itself, but it is linked in a way. You can, for instance, you can upgrade your weapons in Modern Warfare and actually use those weapons here in your loadouts. You can upgrade them in Warfare if you have that game. So it is a bit linked, and it will be more or less the same. So yeah, the easiest way to make that happen, go from one linked game to another, would be like completely give a new map. So maybe we have to, at one point or another, that nuke is going to explode. It's going to wipe out the map and we need to get the hell out of there, and by helicopter we fly to a new map or so. That could be very possible. We will see. That's where we are at the moment with intel, puzzles, bunkers and more, as the title suggests. We have different things that we can open now, sheds and bunkers. There are still bunkers 2, 7 and 8 which have a second door with a keypad, at the moment not interactive. There are some laptops here and there, computers all over the map, which require, if you approach them, it says like enter the password, but it's not active, you can't type anything in, or might also come into play in a future intel mission or whatnot. We know that the next intel missions will be in week 6 of season 5, and all intel needs to be collected in the prison area. And seeing it is referring to Perseus or Perseus, or however you pronounce that, that is linked to the new Call of Duty. So there are a few more puzzles and Easter eggs to be solved in this thing. And then we have those reticles on the wall in the stadium. We have those symbols on the second floor in the stadium. That's gotta mean something all over the place. We will see. That's where we are at the moment. But some of the things you can use, although in the beginning it was like we got those codes, those doors never ever opened before in the bunkers or so, or those sheds. So people were curious what was in there, obviously, wanted to have a look at it. And of course they built it up in such a way that the last bunker that opened was 10, the one with the nuke, that was for the last day, obviously. But now those codes are still usable, and that they come in handy. If you can, for instance, if you go to bunker 1 and then you go to bunker 3, in plunder you already have quite some money. If you then just happen to shoot a guy who drops a red access key card, you can go to one of another bunkers. More than likely you will have $1 million and you will be in first place in plunder at that moment. So you can use it in plunder, for instance, those codes. Most of these things were done in plunder because you have a 30-minute map and you can get away with that a little bit better than when you play it in something like Battle Royale, where you have a moving circle with gas following you. The same reason people did Bunker 11 in mostly in plunder, because you have the whole map available, there's no gas coming, so you have a bit more time. In plunder you have a 30-minute map, but as soon as a team hits $1 million, because it's about the money, yeah, then it goes in overtime, and then you have 3 minutes and a half or so, I think. You still have, or 4 minutes. Sometimes you need to be fast to open Bunker 11, because you need to pick up a phone. If you have a bit of a bad code, let's say you get something like Quarry, Downtown, Airport. Yeah, that's a bit of driving around or flying around to answer those 3 phones, and then you have to go all the way to the military base to Bunker 11 to actually open that bunker. That all takes a bit of time. If some teams are actually playing the plunder to win it, you might not have enough time. You might get the code solved and then you come on the bunker and the time is up before you open it or something. Sometimes you have to try a couple of times. I'm going to leave it at this for this stream/video. I will export this to my YouTube as well. All the puzzles and intel, the intel, yeah, it sort of gives you like a background story in a way. Sort of what's happening in Verdansk and how did it all came about, and that's every of these intel missions give you a little bit more information about that. So that's sort of how we try to solve that, by doing the intel missions, and then yeah, all the puzzling that was for the new Call of Duty trailer announcement at first, and now on Wednesday we're gonna get the trailer. But I have a feeling they're not just gonna drop it on YouTube. We're gonna have to solve some puzzles, and if we found it and we saw it, for instance, in the stadium, then they probably will drop it on YouTube. sort of like they did last week with the announcement trailer in a way. We will see. Intel, puzzles and bunkers. This is where we are in Warzone at the moment. The only unknowns are the stadium symbols, and bunkers 2, 7 and 8 have a second door as well. Next to that there are some computers on the map which require a password, which we don't have either, so that might be another Easter egg at one point or another. We will see. Might be back later with some gameplay. This was more of a up-to-date video, bringing you up to date on what's happening in Warzone the past couple of weeks and days. Thanks for watching. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye for now.